Hello everybody and welcome back. It's ZDS here bringing you part 4 of my Pokemon Colosseum Let's Play. And, yeah, fuck it. I just said screw it. I've already done a lot of altering as it is. So I gave myself enough healing items to last through the entire adventure. And also I just said screw it, gave myself Master Balls. There's less than 45 shadows here, so I won't even need all these Master Balls, but I really don't like messing around with catching the shadow Pokemon in this game. I don't know if I'll do the same thing when I do eventually get to XD Gale Darkness, but I probably will. Yeah, I'm probably one of the only YouTubers out there that will willingly use cheat codes in a Pokemon Let's Play, but whatever. Anyway, well, not cheat codes, but hacks or whatever. Anywho, part of the reason I also decided to go with the Master Balls, besides just in general being able to capture all the shadows without having any issue, is this guy in particular. If you guys have never seen my Pokemon XD, or Pokemon Colosseum all shadow Pokemon captures video, I don't blame you if you haven't, it's a pretty old one of mine. Pretty popular though, I think it has a couple thousand views, it isn't too bad. I had a bitch of a time catching Qwilfish. I think it took me like 15 minutes just catching this bastard. And, yeah, I'm still a little bit salty about that, so fuck him. Yeah, everything else is just gonna be caught with Master Ball now. I'm not even gonna bother. Because to be quite honest, I mean, I don't really see a point to struggle to capture the bastards because, I mean, at the end of the day, the Let's Play will be ending when I have purified all 48 Shadow Pokemon, beaten the boss, or beaten the final boss, purified all the Shadow Pokemon, and then show them off at the very end. So, why make it difficult for me to capture these Pokemon when I can just say, fuck it, Master Ball, bing, mine. I don't have anything to prove. I've played this game so many times it doesn't matter anymore. But that will make the area here a little bit faster, which is exactly the reason I did this. I'm also not going to, like, fuck around with some side paths and trainers because the items that they have on those areas don't really matter. This guy right here has a Shadow Meditite, so we're just going to go right for his ass. He's missing one letter, and he'll be Writer Twain. Say it fast enough, it sounds like Writer Twain, like Mark Twain. Puns on words, whatever. So this guy has a Shadow Meditite. It is a Psychic Fighting type. I don't know why I'm giving descriptions now on the 4th episode, but I had to fill the time somehow. It is a Psychic Fighting type with the unique ability Pure Power, which doubles its physical attack stat, essentially giving it an attack stat that is, I think, 120 base stat power instead of 60, which is, well, Metachance anyway. Not a good Pokemon in this game, though, because of the physical special split. And Meditite does not know a lot of great physical moves as of this game. I mean, it obviously gets, like, you know, Brick Break and Shadow Ball and all that, and some normal coverage, as well as Rock Slide and Rock Tomb, but as far as its other coverage options, in the form of the Elemental Punches, and of course its Stab Psychics, well, they don't follow under the physical attacks, so they are not boosted by Pure Power. I believe the next shadow up is going to be Swablu. And then we'll have Dunsparce, and then I think one more. Where is the... So we go down here first. Oh, no, Dunsparce is next. So down this pathway, see, we're in a sewer now for some reason. Kind of adding a little bit more credence. I mean, it is a mine. It is very clearly a mine. This is constructed like a mine. So this is the main reason why I think about that theory that I mentioned last video about the Ore region being a mining town that got overrun by criminals when the mines ended up running dry, so to speak. Probably the valuable ore that they were probably naming their town for. It's probably called the Ore region in honor of the rich mineral ores that the mountains, cave systems, and the desert landscape have offered to the people who live here. I'd also be willing to bet that they probably took this ore and sold it to other countries, or regions, I guess. It's really hard to say regions and countries, I don't know. To other regions to try to, I guess, fill their back pocket, in a way. I don't know. It's fun to speculate on stuff like that. Because God knows this Pokemon game is 90% Pokemon battles. Obviously, we're catching the Shadow Pokemon and freeing them and whatnot, which I don't really consider us really freeing the Shadows when we're essentially stealing them from other people and putting them under our own control. Also, I mentioned my Sword and Shield Let's Play that the water in that game looks fucking fantastic. This does not. This is essentially a mud... Oh my god, you can actually see the line. Like, I'm going to line my character model up directly with it, but if you look directly from the top of my character's head straight up, you can see a very clear, straight line across the center of the graphic. Good god. The only thing that makes it remotely convincing of water is the fucking giant stones, I guess those are over there. Oh yeah, that's right, there's items over there. I don't care about that, though. Oh, and if you want to heal, heal here, because it's the only healing station in the entire underwater sewer area. The way this place is made is very haphazardly constructed. Alright, so I believe the next guy up here, he will have the Swablu we need. He is a mandatory trainer that we can't get past without battling him, because we have to go down that staircase. Swablu is a normal flying type that evolves into the dragon flying type known as Altaria. And I believe only has one ability in this game, being Natural Cure. It has Cloud 9 later on. It is a defensive dragon type of all things. But it's a good Pokemon. I like it. I'm not going to use it because it's really weak, but I still like it though. I have the hardest time figuring out whether I want to go with a physical set for Altaria or a special set. Because Altaria, like in Generation 3, Dragon-type moves are special-based, and Flying-type moves are physical-based. Altaria also gets access to Dragon Dance, which boosts attack and speed by 1 stage each time it's used, as well as a powerful Earthquake to go along with it, although it's not a very strong Dragon-type if you're going that route, because, of course, Dragonite and Salamence both have the same thing. But it is still a good Pokemon, and it's really hard to, I guess, decide how to fucking vary that move setup, because in Generation 3, it doesn't have any other good physical moves. Except for normal type moves, obviously, but I always exclude those because they have such poor type coverage. Albeit none, basically. And Aerial Ace and Earthquake, I would usually combine that with either Stab, Dragon Claw, or why didn't I just use Hidden Power Fire on that fucking Beldum? Or Ground, for that matter? Good god, I'm distracting myself. I don't know why I used Bite on that thing. I probably could have killed it with HP Ground. Oh well. But yeah. And also Altaria, you know, it does get Ice Beam, Solar Beam, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and Dragon Claw, which are all really good special moves, but it has no way to boost its special attack stats, so always a hard decision for me whether to choose a physical or a special set. Alright. So now, the only other Shadow left is going to be that owned by the Dancing Fool. Can I just say 100%? I fucking love this goddamn music. I just love his theme so much. It's so damn catchy. Miror B's theme in XD and Colosseum are some of my favorite music tracks in the entire damn Pokemon franchise. But you have to stop the music. Of course you do. So yeah, Mr. Afro Man who took a walk in Sewerland. That was that was terrible. Alright. He's like a fucking, he's like a combination between Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley with a Pokemon spin, and he's part African-American or black and part Hispanic because of the theme. He's like a Mexican Elvis, or not a Mexican Elvis specifically, but like a Hispanic Elvis or some shit, I don't know. Or Hispanic, fuck, I don't know what to call him, he's just cool. Miror B's my favorite character in this game, bar none. Because he's the only character that actually really has character, because the other 3 Cipher Admins along with, of course, Naskur and the head of the Cipher organization. They don't really have much in the way of personality outside of a few general quirks. But, I mean, technically you could say the same thing for Miror B, but his quirk is just funny. He is a Ludicolo fanatic. And Ludicolo is a specially defensive Pokemon. So you're running 2 special attackers, because, you know, technically you're running 1 special attacker and 1 defensive Pokemon, so typically you'd have some pretty big problems with a Ludicolo only team. And all of his Ludicolo know different moves. It's not like they're just copies of one another. Some of them have Swift Swim, some of them have the other ability, Rain Dish, which is basically like a leftovers in the rain, and Swift Swim obviously doubles the speed. So there's like so much shit you can really do with a Ludicolo. Plus it has a pretty good moveset too. It actually knows the elemental punches of all things. It knows Fire, Ice, and Thunder Punch. Which is weird because you wouldn't expect that from a grass type, or a water type for that matter. Well, Ice Punch sure for the water side, and then Thunder Punch maybe for the grass side. But you never expect Fire Punch on either type. But yeah, they can use all 3 elemental punches, grass moves, yada yada. Pretty good Pokemon. Quite interesting. Oh wow, he's already, damn. So Espeon killed 3 of his Ludicolo, and then Umbreon took 3 turns to kill the last one. And by the way, my Umbreon has a quiet nature with max special attack investment, and it still took 3 fucking hits off a stab bite to kill a fucking Ludicolo that was 5 levels lower than it. So yeah, not the best special sweeper, but I don't care. I am much more of a damage-dealing Pokemon player than I am a status one. Especially in, well, actually, pretty much exclusively in-game. Look at his little Colo posse running away. Alright, so now we gotta go rescue Plusle. But over here, a random item box appeared, and in it, we get the leftovers? Oh no, TM49, that's Snatch. I also didn't show this off, but I actually gave myself 99 of every TM. And apparently, if you do that, the TM that you pick up will actually go in the fucking PC, and I didn't even know that. So that's interesting. Over here is the leftovers? Macho Brace. Okay, that is an item that is used exclusively for EV training, which EV training isn't really a thing you can do in Colosseum, honestly, since there's no wild Pokemon, and none of the rebattleable trainers give specific EVs. So the Macho Brace is pretty much a useless item in Colosseum. It can be pretty useful in XD, though, because there are specific areas, specifically in the last, the 3 of the last areas in Mount Battle. I'll get to that when I go to it. Anyway. So now this little guy wants to join us. I have a tendency to actually use Plusle in Colosseum because it is the only other gift Pokemon that we can receive. It's not the best Pokemon, it's actually pretty terrible. But if you give it a right moveset, it can actually be pretty useful. I've used Plusle in several playthroughs, actually, because of its ability to use Thunder Wave combined with Quick Attack, which allows me to slowly whittle down my opponents for the Shadow Pokemon so I don't have to accidentally kill them. Alright, now that we have finally fucking cleared out Pyrite Town, we can leave and go to where Hinata was supposed to be going, which is Agate Village. Agate Village is the area where we can finally fucking purify my 12+ Shadow Pokemon. So yeah, you have... it literally took me over 2 hours of gameplay just to be able to purify any of my Pokemon. Welcome everyone to Agate Village. It is a village up in the mountains by a waterfall, and I'm assuming somewhere around a lake. Although the clouds tell me that it's up in the mountains somewhere. This is a very confusing area, based on what I've already said about the ore region. Agate Village is a very weird concept. It's because it's a very foresty type of area. And it's at the base of Mount Battle. Which is cool. Yeah, these are Hinata's grandparents, Egon and Belue. Now we have to go to the Relic Forest and beat some fuckers up. Or more specifically, we have to actually watch Egon get his ass kicked, but just so you know, because this is something... I'm only showing you guys this because this is something that took me a fucking long-ass time to figure out, because I couldn't figure out how to fucking do it. Down here, there is the EXP share, down there on that path below this bridge underneath me. I thought to get there, I'd have to go here and go down, but clearly, you see that I cannot. Apparently, what you have to do, which I couldn't tell because my depth perception was terrible, you can go behind the tree, down a ramp, and grab the EXP share right here. It took me a long time to figure that out. I think it was like several years, actually. I don't remember. I just remember looking it up on a guide once. Oh, there's also a guy up on the top right of this area that can give you random berries every so often. I already have 99 of everything, so I don't really care. Alright. Now, before we can actually get to Egon, unfortunately, we have to deal with some Cipher grunts. You trampled me when I let down my guard. That won't happen again. Egon is supposed to be, I guess, Ash in this game. Or maybe Red. Probably more Red than Ash, since Red also uses a Pikachu on his team. But Egon is supposed to be this great and powerful trainer. But we'll see in a moment that that's actually not the case, because he gets his ass handed to him by a goddamn Hitmontop. A Hitmontop that we have to steal, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute. Gotta clear out these fucking weak-ass trainers out of my way. These guys are pretty much just blockades, in a way. They're not plot important, they're not really important at all. I mean, we could probably just head right for Egon if these guys were in the way. I guess they're just extra experience and money since we still can't get to Mount Battle just yet. Mount Battle actually isn't until a little bit after here. We're gonna purify some Pokemon and then we're gonna get some information to go to Mount Battle and take care of some plot there. Cacnea's fucking 1,000-yard death stare always freaks me out. I don't know why, but Cacnea kind of reminds me a little bit of that improv guy, Tateface. Can't quite... Or maybe it's the eyeliner and the open blank stare. Although Tateface's mouth isn't exactly made of separate holes. Although is it? You never know what's under that tape, do we? I'm just glad we're finally going to be able to fucking purify my damn Pokemon. I know it's only episode 4 or 5, but I think it's 5. But still, I mean, it's one of the other complaints I will say about Colosseum. It's funny, though, that, like, despite the fact that I believe that Ultra Moon is a objectively better game than Colosseum, I like Colosseum slightly more, but only for the fact that I am completely enthralled by nostalgia. I mean, I still think Pokemon XD Darkness is the best Pokemon game. Or rather, it's my favorite anyway. And Pokemon XD Darkness is not the best Pokemon game. It has a myriad of flaws. But it is the Pokemon game I have played the most. With literally 2 different files having over 1,000+ hours individually. I probably still have one of my memory cards that still has one of those files on it. Although my old Wii and my old GameCube were stolen by my sister's ex-boyfriend, so that was fun. That's another story altogether. I don't think I've used Bite with Espeon once so far. Because really, Umbreon is the biter, because Umbreon gets stab on Bite, but Espeon has substantially higher special attack than Umbreon does, so even though Espeon doesn't get stab on Bite, it's probably way stronger despite that. Okay. You get out of my way, fuckers. And then we need to see Egon, an old man, get his ass kicked by some random dude that we never see again after this. Actually, no, we see him once, I think. He gives us... We have to... We do get a chance to refight all of the people who we have seen with Shadow Pokemon throughout the adventure post-game. Or nearing the post-game. Some of them are post-game only, some of them are not. Yeah, a level 50 Pikachu. He could have beaten this Hitmontop if he just used Thunderbolt. Ugh. That's the most frustrating thing for me, that he is an idiot. He could have easily beat Hitmontop if he just used Pikachu's Thunderbolt, or Thunder, or Voltac. But no, he has to use Quick Attack. And clearly doesn't understand how Pokemon works. So I don't really consider him much of a champion, or much of a legendary trainer, if he doesn't even understand how basic his fucking electric moves can be against a goddamn fighting type. But of course, Pikachu being Pikachu, he has to get the fucking top spot. But no matter, we're gonna get this literal scrub out of the way. And that's another insult to injury because of the term scrub, and he beats a fucking champion trainer and yada yada, but oh well. That's not really what's important. What's important now is that we murder his face hole. Kill his fucking pearl in a clamshell. I like how the pearl is the part of it that's got the face. And then I'll be taking that, upside down fucker from you. Why does Hitmontop have a tail? Is what I want to know. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan and Tyro don't have a tail, but Hitmontop does, and I don't really get why. Also, Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee seem like more practical evolutions of Tyro, but Hitmontop? Nah. Also, why don't you just have a fucking Wobbuffet? Oh, little side thing too. If you are using a Dark-type Pokemon against a Wynot, and you use a Dark-type move on it that is a special move, in this case, all Dark-type moves are like that, but in the other games, just certain ones are, and you don't manage to kill the Wynot or Wobbuffet, even if they use Mirror Coat, because Mirror Coat is a Psychic-type move, you will receive no damage because Dark-types are immune to Psychic-type moves. Same thing if you use a physical attack using a Ghost-type Pokemon on Wynot or Wobbuffet, or any Pokemon for that matter, using the move Counter. Because Counter is a Fighting-type move, Ghost-types take no damage from it, so therefore it doesn't do anything. Little side bit of information I found out years after I started playing Pokemon. Also, don't really know why he just drops a fucking folder on the ground. But whatever. Kevin, am I right? Thank you. Yeah, let's head back here. Now they're talking about this fucking relic stone. The relic tablet, stone tablet, relic, whatever. The point is, this is just another way to pad out the game. Although I guess it does make it a little more sense to actually be able to, I don't know, progress with the plot. I don't fucking know, man. I'm not a game developer. Yet. Okay, so we actually gotta talk to some random old guy in this house right here. By the way, we never have to talk to this guy again after this. Oh, you're Egon's beloved Torchic. No, wait. What did you say you were? What's that? You want to ask me, Cinelor, about Celebi? Have no fear, no problem. Forget anything and forget something important? That's not going to happen. Yeah, this guy's basically just a giant joke about, Alzheimer's. Or just forgetful old people. I'm not laughing. It's kind of dumb. But he does tell us about the Relic Forest and the Time Flutes, which are items that we will be able to use later on. I don't believe PK Hex can give you Time Flutes, though, which is not really important, but there are only 3 Time Flutes in the entire game, one of which is given to us pretty early, and we can use to and Time Flutes are used to instantly purify Pokemon, so you don't have to worry about wasting time on it. I don't recommend using it on anything except for the final boss's 2 Pokemon, or the Pokemon that are owned by the final 2 bosses, or the legendary dogs, as those, or legendary beasts, as those 5 Pokemon are the hardest to actually purify in this game. And I'm still not used to the fact that my controller doesn't rumble when the fucking PDA goes off. I'm also going to change the ringtone, because that's the tone I've had on it since I first started playing this game. Alright, so we get a message from Duking telling us to go to Mount Battle. Now, since Mount Battle is to the northeast, well, since Mount Battle is next, I'm actually first going to go ahead and purify some of my Pokemon, before I call this a video. I'm not going to purify everybody on screen. I'm going to purify the rest of the party off screen, but I'm going to purify the ones that I currently have in my team right now. Just to kind of show you guys the process, I suppose. La 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 la, run through the forest. I don't believe I've actually ever tried to give myself multiple time flutes before. Maybe I'll try that. We will be getting the first time flute relatively soon. We get the first one after clearing out Mount Battle. We get the second one, we get the first one after clearing out Cipher out of Mount Battle. We get the second one from actually completing Mount Battle, the challenge itself, all 100 levels of it. We just need to get to the 100th level, and then it'll be sitting at the top inside of a box. And then we get access to the last one via a special disc to use to move this quote-unquote UFO, which will be in an area underneath of Pyrite Town, fittingly called the Under. Which we'll get to that probably in another 2 or 3 videos. Maybe 2. I don't think... Actually, no, I think 2, because after we defeat Duking, who is the next of the Cipher Admins... Because the beginning of the game is what really plods. The rest of the game starts going pretty quickly after that. Because while we caught 13 Shadow Pokemon before getting to Mount Battle, and it took us like 12 Shadow Pokemon or more just to get to Miror B, it only takes us another 1 Shadow to get to the next of the fucking, to get to the final of the, whatchamacallit, the guys, whatever. The final of the, the next Cipher Admin. We only had to catch Hitmontop, and then we're gonna go straight for the next Cipher Admin. And then after that, there's only 2 more Shadows, and then we have another Cipher Admin fight. So 3 Cipher Admins in a pretty short span of time. Let me check this little girl right here. Yeah, she already has Thunder Wave and Quick Attack to start with, so pretty easy. Also know that there is no way to relearn moves in Pokemon Colosseum. That was something that was introduced in XD through the Mount Battle. So don't try to forget a Pokemon move if you don't exactly know if you're going to be able to get it again. I recommend that heavily. But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode, and I'm going to go ahead and purify the rest of these little bastards off screen and do a little tiny bit more PK hexing and whatnot. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas for future content, please leave your suggestions in the comment section down below or on my Twitter page @SoDirus. Link will be in the description. And until next time, this has been ZDS. Thank you to provide 1 video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next episode.